How to handle narcissists. It can be difficult to live with a narcissist, whether they are a romantic partner, roommate, or family member. You can feel more capable of coping if you get as knowledgeable as you can about narcissistic features and comprehend some of the techniques to deal with them. What narcissism is, how to cope with someone who exhibits frequent narcissistic tendencies, how their conduct may influence you, and what you can do to look after your own mental well-being are all covered in this video. A narcissist, what is he? A narcissist is someone who has an exaggerated sense of who they are. A person who possesses this trait frequently shows an extreme preoccupation with their own image and appearance to the point that they show little care or empathy for others. A narcissist is extremely self-centered to the point where it negatively affects those around them. Because of this, it's critical to spot the warning signs so that you can develop a strategy for dealing with the narcissist in your life. There is a spectrum of narcissism. Some individuals may exhibit a high degree of narcissism or frequently engage in narcissistic behavior. A disease known as narcissistic personality disorder, which can cause more extreme behaviors, may be present in other circumstances. Indications that a narcissist is in your life. Everyone prioritizes their needs or puts oneself first to some extent, but narcissists do so far more frequently and destructively than other people. The people who deal with them may find this to be perplexing, agonizing, and harmful. Recognizing the warning indicators is the first step in dealing with a narcissist. Some inquiries you may have for yourself are they apathetic? Narcissists find it difficult to relate with others because they are so preoccupied with themselves. Do they glorify themselves? Narcissists are self-centered and too concerned with their personal significance. They frequently overstate their success and significance in order to hide their uneasiness and fragile sense of self. Are they unrepentant? Narcissists show little consideration for the needs and feelings of other people. If it doesn't help them in some manner, they won't say sorry for harming someone else. For instance, they might engage in triangulation to protect their sense of worth, while devaluing others. Do they respond violently to criticism? Narcissistic people react violently to even the smallest criticism. They will place blame on others rather than own up to their own errors. Do they use manipulation? Living with a narcissist might make you feel as though you are being lied to, used as a pawn, or otherwise mistreated frequently. They frequently give the impression that they'll say or do anything to acquire what they want or what they believe they deserve. Sometimes narcissistic traits are obvious, but it can be more challenging to spot hidden narcissism. The grandiose sense of importance, taking advantage of people, and lack of empathy are all traits shared by the covert narcissist, although their narcissistic tendencies are more subtle. Advice on how to interact with a narcissist. A narcissist can be demanding and hard to deal with. It might be tough to feel at ease at your home or place of employment and be harmful to your mental health. Discovering coping mechanisms is crucial. You can handle your connection with the narcissist while maintaining your own mental health if you are aware of what makes narcissists tick and explore some of the most effective coping mechanisms. These advice can be helpful whether you have to deal with a narcissist at home, at work, or in a social situation. Don't personalize their actions. Recognize that the individual with whom you are dealing may suffer from narcissistic personality disorder. Although the exact cause of NPD is unknown, it is frequently connected to elements including heredity, childhood abuse, trauma, personality, and upbringing. Individuals with NPD require professional help, but they rarely look for it. They are unable to alter their behavior on their own and may not be able to realize that there is a problem. You might suggest that they speak with a therapist, but they will probably refuse or have a bad reaction. Even while you are aware that narcissistic actions like manipulation and lack of attention aren't actually personal attacks against you, the problem is that these behaviors often feel that way. Keep in mind that it is not personal. They did not cause their behaviors, and neither are you to blame for them. You can urge them to seek assistance, but you are not obligated to stand by them or correct their errors. Set boundaries and enforce them. Setting clear boundaries is one of the most crucial things you can do while dealing with a narcissist at home or at business. In a relationship, boundaries define what you are and are not ready to accept. These are unwavering boundaries that define what constitutes appropriate and permissible behavior. For instance, you may state unequivocally that you will not tolerate actions like rudeness or name-calling when you communicate with one another. The conversation will come to an end if they continue acting in this manner. Setting limits does not involve attempting to influence the other person. Instead, these restrictions make it clear which actions won't be accepted. It's crucial to uphold your boundaries after you've established them. If the other person breaks it, the repercussions should be applied right away. As in the aforementioned scenario, stop talking as soon as you can and go. Don't fight with them or wait for a response. Put an end to it. Likewise, don't issue empty threats or make demands that you won't keep. Your boundaries won't be taken seriously by the other person if you don't enforce them. Yet, they'll be more likely to believe you when you say you won't accept a behavior if you actually follow through with the repercussions. Example, this conversation is done if you keep speaking to me in that manner. As soon as they exhibit the behavior you have warned them about, get out of there as quickly as you can. It's also critical to understand that establishing and upholding limits is a continuous process. Keep establishing your boundaries and reminding people of them. Recognize gaslighting. You may have observed narcissists engaging in a practice known as gaslighting. This kind of manipulation defies reality in a way that makes you question your own perceptions and experiences. For instance, they can claim that they made the statements in jest or that you are being overly sensitive. They could cast doubt on your knowledge of what actually occurred or accuse you of reading events incorrectly or overreacting, undermining your confidence. In other situations, they may merely refute what they have done or said. Coping with gaslighting is difficult, especially when your word is being used against theirs. Keeping written recordings of occurrences, keeping physical records that support your experiences, or asking others to observe your discussions with the other person are all ways to cope. This is crucial in the job where a narcissistic competitor could accuse you of acting badly or incompetently in an effort to win over your coworkers and superiors. When they do attempt to gaslight you, be sure to establish a boundary by being adamant that you are aware of what you are doing and that you will not put up with it. Increase your confidence. A narcissist frequently discredits others to reinforce their sense of self. This can be especially harmful if the other person constantly puts you down in both subtle and obvious ways. This sort of behavior is particularly prone to occur in the job. Make sure that your self-esteem endures in the face of difficulties to help ensure that you have the mental fortitude to deal. Be assertive. Narcissists are drawn to those who will tolerate their antics. But keep in mind that not only those with low self-esteem, porous boundaries, or a wobbly sense of self find themselves in interactions with narcissists. At the start of a relationship, it seems sense that you could be drawn to someone who seems confident and charismatic. However, as you come to know them better, you will see that these qualities are actually signs of narcissism. You can negotiate the more interpersonally destructive actions by maintaining your self-esteem and remaining firm, even when the narcissist tries to manipulate and undercut you. Increase your self-confidence by talking to oneself kindly, accepting responsibility for your errors, surrounding oneself with positive, encouraging individuals, defending your own interests, being polite and respectful to oneself. Find assistance. It can be tiring to deal with a narcissist's dysfunctional and occasionally abusive conduct. When you are in a relationship with a narcissist, whether they be a roommate, family member, love partner, or coworker, it is extremely crucial to maintain healthy relationships with others who are kind and supportive. Approach to receive emotional support and perspective is to have other individuals you can chat to about how you are doing. Seek for relationships with other individuals that are healthy and allow for mutual listening. You should feel comfortable being authentically you around them since you know they embrace you for who you are.